All right, hey guys, welcome. We're back. Fridays in football. This is Friday, February 7th. It's been a while for me, but man, there's a lot to talk about. I can't wait. This is going to be awesome. This week, I just got to start off with this. Gio Reyna with Dortmund. He's 17 years old. Scored a crazy goal. Is it too early to get on the Reyna train right now, or the hype train? Is it too early?
I don't know. I feel like the fans of the U.S. men's national team are sort of looking for a kid to place all the hype on, because I feel like now Christian Pulisic, the hype is sort of gone. Everyone knows he's a good player, but it's sort of, I don't know, even a little bit like just his form has fallen off. And I feel like we're looking for someone new now. So I don't know. I don't think it's too early. He's obviously a talented kid.
I think for me, it's very hard not to get excited about him, because our national team is so bad that it doesn't take much to get onto it and to be a star for our country. Like Christian Pulisic, he's great for the national team, but in the broad spectrum of global soccer, he's not that big of a thing. And I think regardless of his true potential, his potential to be something for our country is pretty high. Although I don't know. It's too early to know what kind of a career he's going to have.
I mean, when you see a guy do a goal like he did, like he cut between two guys and then he just put a shot in the corner.
Curled all the way. That was insane.
I thank God for technology. Like you can, when they get behind and you can see the curve of the ball, like, and see what he was looking at. Like, is it just one play like that? Can't you tell this guy is going to be something special? Like, I'm trying not to get too hyped up about him because, kind of like things can change, careers get ruined, all that stuff. But man, I mean, this is the kind of guy we need on our team. Like, guys like him and Pulisic. And, to your point, Pulisic, he'll be back. He's hurt, he hasn't had a great season yet, and I think that's the problem with a lot of young guys sometimes is they're just not mature enough, physically, and you get hurt, and so he was showing promise, and now that just kind of derailed his whole season. I think it's not over yet. There's still a lot to be excited for him. Because he's going to get some valuable Champions League, hopefully play a little wait, they're out of the Champions League, aren't they?
Chelsea?
No, is
Chelsea.
Chelsea, yeah.
Chelsea play Bayern.
Oh, that's right. So, I mean, they're still in it. So, yeah, to my point, he might get some action still coming up. And so it's exciting for the U.S. men's national team, which for me, I think, that kind of begs another question. Are they bordering on irrelevancy? Like, are we starting not even to care about the U.S. men's national team because they played, who was it, Costa Rica, and there were like 6,000 fans in the stands. Like as I looked, I saw the highlight. I'm like, oh my gosh, nobody's there. Nobody cares. This is sad. So when a guy like Reyna comes along, you got somebody to get excited about. That's what we need. I don't. Otherwise, I think U.S. men's national team is bordering on irrelevancy.
Yeah, the other day I was beginning to wonder whether or not we have a chance of not qualifying for the 2022 World Cup. And so, yeah, right now we'll just take anything we can get.
If we don't qualify, like I don't even know what to say. I would just be beside myself.
Mm-hmm.
Just the fact that Giovanni Reyna, he's been getting pegged as the next Pulisic, being an American coming from Dortmund. But just the fact that we're freaking out over that, like the next Christian Pulisic, I don't know, it just goes to show how sad the state of our program is. It's like if let's say Man United had a youngster coming up, and they're like, "Oh, see him right there? That's the next Henrik Mkhitaryan. He's gonna go do big things." It's just I feel like for our standards, we should be getting hyped because this is about as good as we get. But it's still, I don't know. We're not going anywhere, and it's hard for Americans to succeed. It'll be interesting to see what he does, but I'm not too optimistic.
Well, I mean, like, yeah, hype can be negative. You know, it puts a lot of pressure on guys, and you know they might not be able to live up to it. But at the same time, I think America has always been like, you know, we got to work on the process. You know, it's more about the process. You know, but when you have a talented kid, they never really, you know, get behind that kind of thing. You know, it's kind of like don't rise above. That's the sense I get. You know, in Europe, if some guy can score goals, they throw parades for him. You know, people get excited for that kind of a player, and I think that's what we need to do in this country, if we're going to really get good. Is we do need to, you know, rightfully put some hype on a guy, but you know, measure it. But we have to celebrate good players, I think. I don't know. What do you guys think? I don't know. I mean, I'm excited.
Yeah.
He's 17. He's the youngest guy. You know that he's younger than Pulisic for scoring a goal in the Bundesliga. Is that right, Jaden? So,
I believe so.
Yeah.
and he's getting some quality minutes. It sounds like too. So that's awesome. Yeah. What do you think about so Liverpool, another win? They just keep winning. It doesn't matter if they put in their second string, you know, the young guys, A team, they're winning. And now it's not a question of, you know, whether or not they're going to win the league. You know, we all know they're going to win the league, but what's their legacy going to be like this year? You know,
Yeah.
how many trophies are they going to win?
I think they're on the road to becoming, or to being considered one of the best club teams ever. And I don't even think it matters whether or not they go undefeated. Their legacy will still remain that one of the best teams ever. And yeah, I think they do have a good chance of going undefeated this season. Also, possibly like winning the Champions League. Why not? They're just that good.
A good measure of how good Liverpool have been this year is they could, let's say they lose the City game in April and then draw to Chelsea in one of the last few games and drop 5 more points. They still had 107 points on the year, which smashes City's record of 100. And they've just been so dominant. I've never seen anything like it. No, another version of the Premier League table, which I found online, it had Liverpool in first place with 73, Chelsea and Arsenal combined with 72, Spurs and United with 72, Leicester and Watford with 72, 3 West Hams with 72, City and Norwich with 69, and Sheffield and Everton with 69.
Wow.
These, like, quote-unquote big teams are combining and still are less than Liverpool, which is crazy.
Well, yeah, I think you're right. That's domination. Is there, other than City, you know, like, yeah, you would have to say Liverpool's got to be one of the greatest teams. And I don't know. They've already won the World Cup, Club World Cup, the Champions League. What else? The Super Cup. If they can win the FA Cup, Premier League title. Am I missing anything? Another Champions League. I don't know. Are they in contention for anything else? I mean,
I don't think so.
We lost the Community Shield back in August. It's the real deal breaker right there.
Oh, yeah, right there. Okay, well, they're not the greatest team after that.
What would that
no.
be? 5 trophies?
Yeah.
Has any team like ever done that?
The record is 6.
6, really?
Barcelona in 2009, Pep's team. They won the La Liga, Copa del Rey, Champions League, Spanish Super Cup, UEFA Super Cup, and Club World Cup.
Oh, wow.
That's like the most you can do. Except in England, you can win the League Cup too, so 7.
Wow. 5 or 6 trophies in a year. Yeah, I think
Pretty incredible.
I think that puts you right up there. And it's so exciting. I mean, like if they, I just don't see them slowing down anytime soon. You know, there's never any transfer rumors. You know, like unhappy players. You know, anything. It's just like no. It's just a smooth sailing ship going on at Liverpool.
You know, I haven't thought of that, but that's such a stunning lack of transfer rumors. Everyone's happy, and I guess that's just like the Klopp way. But you always hear like Jaden Sancho and Mbappe linked with Liverpool, and I'm just, how is that supposed to happen? Because I don't see Mane or Salah or Firmino very unhappy.
Yeah. That's just rude, you know. Like if you got the best team in the world, and then you want to bring in somebody else, or like you just don't do that, you know. Like that's just not, you know. If you're second, third place, yeah, you gotta change things up. But what would you change, you know?
Klopp has made he's made the best team in the world out of not necessarily the best players in the world, but he's gotten his team to be so good where you could insert the best player in the world, whether that be Messi, Ronaldo, Mbappe, whoever. And you still have to ask yourself the question, does it really make the team any better?
Yeah.
Maybe if you added Messi. But I feel like if you throw like Mbappe into there, I think that would make Liverpool worse. 'Cause it would mess up. I don't know, just because everybody fits the system so well.
Yeah, it could mess up the flow. Or
Actually,
the
Salah's a ball hog. You can take him out.
I used to think that, but I think I've seen him pass a lot more, at least the last couple of games, you know, like he's looking for guys now, you know, and he'll take his shots when he gets it, but it seemed like he was a big ball hog kind of, you know, earlier. And maybe, you know, I don't know how that changed in his head, you know. I'd love to know, you know, Klopp getting his ear or the other players or, you know, whatever it is. I just get a sense that he is assisting a little bit more. He's looking for teammates. Firmino's always been a good teammate that way, I think, you know. And Mane for the most part too. And that's what makes it so hard. I mean, you got 3 forwards, and all those guys want goals. You know, it's not like there's a 10 in there somewhere. They're all looking for goals. So, and they all seem happy. And I guess that's what winning does for you. But I don't know, man. Mbappe, who plays better than Mbappe on Liverpool, Jaden? I mean, I would love to see Mbappe on Liverpool, actually. I think that'd be pretty dang cool.
Van Dijk.
Well,
but I'm biased. In my opinion, Van Dijk's the best player in the world that has been in the world for quite some time.
Yeah, but I mean, like as a forward, you know, the way that they're spraying balls out to guys, and Mbappe getting you know, Liverpool doesn't always just work it up the field. They counter, they do all kinds of stuff, and my gosh, you know, some long ball to Mbappe. Whew.
Yeah.
I'd love to see
Maybe.
that.
Yeah, I'd love that too.
Maybe if Salah's gone. But Salah, he only likes the hard finishes. He never does the easy ones. And I've lost a lot of faith in him. I feel like maybe that could work without Salah, but certainly not anybody else.
Yeah. Yeah. I think all 3 of them each do their own thing, I think, and you take one of them out of the mix, and then it just changes the whole team.
Yeah, and they also have so many other great players on the bench. Like in attack, you have Shaqiri and Oxlade-Chamberlain and all of these new like young players that, and then midfield you got like Naby Keita and I don't know, all these. They're just really have great depth.
Yeah, that Chamberlain's amazing. Like he scores. He's a midfielder. You know, like he puts goals in. Where did he come from?
Arsenal, I think. Yeah.
Is that right?
Sure.
And then he was injured all of last year.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe that's what it was.
That extra bit of offense outside or coming from the midfield to help out, it really goes so far because it also provides more service up to the attack, which can allow Firmino to play more attacking instead of like more of a true number 9 instead of a false 9.
Right. Well, so they've been really smooth and no issues. Barcelona's had some, dust ups with Messi. I mean, they've had a turbulent season. Usually, you think Barcelona's the team that has no problems, but man, they've got a rocky road going on right now. What's going to end up? How do you guys think they're going to finish the season? Is it looking dire for Barcelona?
I actually, I don't know how the La Liga table is looking right now. Do we have that here? Looks like Real Madrid in first right now. Yeah, Barcelona 3 points behind. I mean, they obviously could still catch up to them. And there are some shining lights for Barcelona, and one in Ansu Fati, who in their most recent game scored 2 goals, both assisted by Messi. So, and that link up has also happened before. So, and a lot of people are saying that Fati is going to be the person that Messi sort of passes the torch onto. So, and he's also an academy player, so they had paid nothing for him, which is pretty great.
It's kind of weird to think about. He's 17. Neymar's now 28. 11-year difference, but Neymar was originally scheduled to be his predecessor.
Yeah.
The big problem with Barcelona right now is Luis Suarez is out. Ousmane Dembele is injured.
Yeah.
They just sold Carlos Perez, and they just loaned out Ricky Puig. So their 3 first-choice attackers, they have Ansu Fati, Antoine Griezmann, and Lionel Messi. But that's it. Absolutely nothing coming off the bench. So, and if one of them goes injured, let's say Messi sustains a hamstring injury, it's not looking good.
Yeah, it's bye-bye Barcelona, baby. Yeah. Sometimes, I mean, maybe that's all you need. Those 3 guys and a guy named Fred, I don't know. I just hope Messi's happy because, he was getting into it with management, and, they were trying to, with the coach being sacked, management was, saying that it was a player issue. One of the reasons why they sacked Valverde, and Messi didn't take, he took exception to that. It sounds like they've cleared the air, between Messi and management and all the players and stuff. But, that's what they say to the press. So I don't, I just wonder about Messi. Is he really happy in Barcelona right now? Is he a Barcelona man forever? Do you think he'll ever leave? Is this the kind of thing towards the end of your career where you're like, it's is it worth it? Maybe I'd like to go somewhere else. What do you think? Think he's going to end up a Barcelona man forever?
Yeah, I think that's the most likely option. I think a move for him would be one of the most newsworthy, shocking moves probably in the history of soccer.
I think that goes beyond soccer history.
Yeah.
Just history.
Messi leaving
History
Barcelona,
of the
that
world.
would, yeah.
Oh my gosh. True.
Yeah, that would, I don't even know where he would end up at. Probably
Newell's Old Boys. His original club.
Yeah, true.
Back in
He
Argentina.
could go to back to Argentina to retire. If he were to move, like within the next couple of years, it would most likely be to Man City. They have the money and Pep, but I don't know. Or he could have a surprise move to MLS, but I doubt it. I think Ronaldo's more likely to go to MLS.
Oh yeah.
The way Messi is revered at the club and all his time in service, at this point, he has almost as much power as the president himself. Like, he got into a huge argument with the board. Most players don't even get to the board. They're shut up well before then. And just, he is a god there. That's all you could put it. I don't know anybody in the whole city of Barcelona who's not going to get down on both knees and bow to him. And I don't think he could ever leave there. He's one of the last one club men we have, because that breed's kind of disappearing.
Yeah, I don't think there's any player who has as much power of their club than Messi. I think if he's unhappy, then the club will do anything they can to make him happy.
Yeah.
It's kind of like one of those quotes that Zlatan says, like, I do not come to LA. LA came to Zlatan. It's like, Messi doesn't do what... that was bad. The world comes to Messi, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. Okay, well, just from a news perspective, I would actually love to see that, the media explode, with Messi going somewhere else, but
Juventus.
Play with Ronaldo. That would be...
Oh, my. Wow. Oh, joining forces.
Yeah.
PSG.
That would be awesome.
That would. I think the soccer world would just, I don't know,
Yeah.
melt down or something. But yeah, I'm kind of, it's nice to see him stay at Barcelona. I don't know. There's something noble about that. He was raised by the club. They looked after him and all that. But yeah, so my selfish desire to see the soccer world just explode, I probably wouldn't mind seeing him at Barcelona. Okay, yeah. Hey, what do you guys? There's Europe soccer has been going on. We've just been enthralled with that. It's been a great year, but MLS just right around the corner. How's your excitement level at this point for MLS? Is it getting up there?
Yeah, definitely. Over the past week, especially, my hype level has been rising. Yeah, I can't wait for MLS to start for the Timbers, and also I'm always really excited to see the new expansion clubs. Those are always something that's interesting to me, especially Inter Miami. I've heard that they're pursuing Modric and Cavani, possibly.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and seeing one or both of those guys in MLS would be amazing.
Oh, my gosh. If it was Modric, I would just die.
Yeah.
That's my guy.
Yeah. Year or two after winning the Ballon d'Or.
Yeah. Whew. Well, if anybody can bring, players like that in, it's got to be Beckham,
Yeah.
I mean, God, I know. It's just amazing. The league is we've got some really powerful teams right now, and then you add in, Beckham. You're right. They're going to be a game changer, kind of like LAFC is, right from the start, probably in Atlanta.
Yeah, and as far as the Timbers, I'm really excited for them too. They've brought in, I think, 3, maybe 4 new attackers, and I'm a little worried about defense, but I don't know. Like, I was talking to Jaden, if the Timbers can outscore the other team, then it doesn't really matter. So,
yeah, I think their roster is looking pretty good. They have, like you said, they brought in new attackers. They've got 2 new forwards. The Polish guy, who, by all accounts, he's the next Lewandowski, and and another guy from Liga MX, and he's been known to score some goals. And
there's also Chara.
And how can you go wrong with another Chara?
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, 2 Charas on the field.
The discipline book?
True.
Yeah, right. The ref, he might need 2 books. So yeah, we're not gonna roll over for anybody with 2 Charas out there. And then we did get a new center back
Until you go down to 9 men.
and
We did.
Yeah, we got a new center back. We'll see. Like all these guys, they, who knows how they're gonna adapt?
Yeah.
Because not too many of them just come right in and play. Maybe if they came from a higher league, which MLS is still different. Even if it might be a step below some of the other leagues, still it's a new league and you got to get used to things. So I would say it's not a ton of new players, but it's enough to, like, I think give the Timbers a pretty good charge.
Yeah.
And so I think their roster is looking good. The only guy that they really need to sign is Paredes, because they're trying to get him on a permanent contract, and they haven't signed him. I think they're still working on it, but I think if they can lock him in, I think, we're as good as anybody, our roster wise.
Yeah. Also, there's guys on the bench from last season who seem to be playing well. I've been watching some of the preseason highlights, and it looks like Thomas Konechny has been playing really well, and also Eric Williamson scored, I think it was today, he scored 2 goals.
Woo.
When we won 3-1 against, I don't know what the team was, but 2 goals for Williamson. He's a very exciting player.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, we're deep now because you're right. Those guys have been around, and they're another year older. I don't know. We're deep, like Liverpool. I don't know. Are the Sounders? What's their roster looking like? You excited for the Sounders?
I am. We
still have your championship vibe going on over there.
We do. We signed a new number 6. This guy, his name's escaping me. It's like something similar to João Pedro. I know those are his initials, but one of the names is off. But from Brazil, he looks pretty promising. We signed a center back, big Colombian guy, played in Argentina for the past 8 years. So we filled up our holes, and we're looking as strong as ever. Except I'm a little bit worried about left back with Brad Smith being gone. But we should.
Did they call him? Was he on loan? Was
Yeah.
that it? And they called him back. So where's he playing?
He got loaned out to Cardiff now in the championship.
Okay. Yeah, he's good.
You were mentioning, like, the strength of leagues, and just a quick question about that. Like, how is that even determined? Because is the Premier League, is it as good as Liverpool, or is it as good as Norwich, or as good as City or United? It's so weird.
Yeah, I know. We've talked about this before. It is hard to compare, There's rating, people rate the leagues and all that. And, I mean, I think the only way you can tell is if you're directly competing with other leagues, like Champions League or all that stuff. But I don't know. It's just the proof. Like guys that have come from Liga MX have done pretty darn well. Like they come in to MLS and they're pretty successful, unless they have a cocaine habit or something like that. But they're going to be pretty successful.
Yeah, I think, I don't know, as of the past couple of years, we've started to see the gap widen between the best teams and the worst teams in MLS, in my opinion. We're starting to actually see like teams like we see in Europe with Barcelona and Real Madrid just dominating La Liga. It's not quite to the extent of that in MLS, but sort of LAFC and Atlanta are sort of emerging as these like monster clubs, and then I could totally see Inter Miami joining them in that category. So
do you like Parity League, or do you mind, like, you start seeing some of these bigger clubs kind of dominate? What do you like to see?
I sort of like more parity. I don't know. I'd rather not have it develop into a La Liga where Barcelona and Real Madrid and maybe Atletico are pretty much guaranteed to win the league every year. Yeah, I think it's just more entertaining that way to have as many clubs as possible be able to win a title.
Yeah, I wonder. Go ahead. You had something.
In my perfect world, in the Premier League, you have 20 teams competing for the title, and you have 20 teams competing for relegation. Everyone's right in there. Yeah. That'll never happen, which is because all the money. And 20 years ago, a team might have a $30 million budget, and you're going to get a world beater for 25, and like a pretty good player at 10, and like 10 million is like pretty affordable for a lot of clubs. But now, like a world beater, that's 200, 300 million euros, and a lot of these lesser clubs, like maybe they'll have like $50 million now, but just like proportionate to what the amount of money what they could get with that back then and now, you can't get as much now. Only the clubs which have the most money can get the best players, and that's why you have this huge disparity.
Well, and then you have more teams, fewer resources. I mean, the MLS is going to have what's the number? They have 27,
26 now.
They have 26. Next year. Yeah, 27. I mean, so there's fewer resources. So maybe you are going to start seeing this gap. Because some clubs just aren't. They're not going to be spending like Inter Miami or LAFC or whatever. I mean, I think it's going to be harder to have a parity league with that many teams. How can you have parity with 30 teams?
So MLS, the way America sports are structured, though, you'll always have a parity league because you have all the drafts and stuff and the salary cap, which the salary cap just means clubs have to have roughly the same amount of money, and there's the exception to the DP rule, but it's always going to change. And I would be 90% sure that every club will make the playoffs in the next 4 to 5 years, at least.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah, well,
parity is just over time.
Yeah, well, I think that's great. I mean, who doesn't want their team to be in the running? I mean, I lose interest fast if my team's not in there. But I don't know if I want to get into the relegation thing right now, but at some point we're going to have too many teams. I think, and it's we're going to start looking like the NFL. And with all these different divisions, or how are you supposed to divide this up? It's not an equal table. Some teams might not travel as much as other teams. Imagine being Vancouver.
Yeah.
And
having to travel to Atlanta and Miami.
Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe that's what happens down the road or something. There's a Western and. Where they don't play everybody in the East or just a fraction, and I don't know.
There's 3 teams that every team doesn't play this year.
Really?
But I think sooner or later it's going to come down to this. The MLS, they have to make a decision. Are they an American sports league or are they a soccer league? Because they're trying to incorporate parts of both into it, and it's just weird. And where they have all like these NBA type components with the conferences, and then if they want to go to divisions or something, and the playoffs and no relegation, it's just different. They need to be one or the other. And I think in the American market, it only really makes sense if they go to become like an American league, similar to the NBA or MLB or something.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited. I can't wait. First game is, I think, March 1st or something like that? Yeah.
Minnesota at home, I believe.
Yeah, Minnesota at home. And then there's a preseason tournament too.
Is it here?
It's here.
Which, really?
Yeah, they're playing. There's some good, there's MLS teams they're playing. In fact, Minnesota, they're playing Minnesota.
Oh, really?
In the preseason. Vancouver, who else do they play?
Is that
like
coming
New
up
England
soon?
Yeah, it's coming
next
up.
Couple weeks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you can catch some action.
Yeah,
should probably stop on by.
Yeah,
I know. Let's go. Cool. This weekend, what are you guys looking forward to?
Ooh. I'm looking forward to, in the Bundesliga, Bayern Munich versus Red Bull Leipzig. Bayern Munich have 42 points, Leipzig have 41. 1 versus 2. It's a big game in the eventual title decision. It'll be fun.
Yeah, come on, Leipzig.
Yeah, right.
Just anyone but Bayern.
Yeah, yes.
I'm right there with you.
Yeah. I'm excited to see if any more big transfers happen in MLS. That's really exciting to me. Maybe we'll see a Cavani move or a Modric move, which who knows. But yeah, just all over the league, it'd be cool to see some more big transfers.
Yeah, there's got to be some transfers. Otherwise, just things get a little dull. You know, it's kind of. I was watching Inter, and Eriksen's already playing. You know, like he's in there, and
they're building up an amazing team.
I know, yeah, and that's exciting. I love it. I don't know what our MLS is going to have, but I think the Timbers are done. Unless they sign Paredes and stuff. So, but I don't even know what I'm looking forward to. Who's Liverpool playing this weekend? I guess that's what I'm looking.
This week.
Oh, they're off.
It's the winter break, so there's only 4 games this week and then 6 games next week.
Oh my.
So every team can get like a 2-week break because there's too many fixtures.
I guess I'm looking forward to the Champions League then. When that's picking up. But
2 weeks.
That's a couple of weeks away. All right. Well, great, guys. What a great wrap-up here for Fridays in Football, February 7th. Hope you enjoy your soccer, football this week. I know we will. All right, we're out.